Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are in the basement and we are going to be working on the Backsplash, which is
a pegboard, but not just any pegboard. We're going to be using wall control, where not only do they have the holes for a normal pegboard, they also have those slots. And right off the bat, we have a problem. And let me share with you what that problem is. This is the middle where the first wall control is gonna go. And this middle ends right around here. And the problem with that is that when I installed this system here, which is the cold water pipe going here and the hot water pipe going here, and the outlet in the middle, I only have plywood like from here to here. And I saw that in the last video that I was editing. I put a quick screenshot of me putting the plywood here, and I realized that the pipes are too close to the wall and the screws are not going to bite any wood. And now I'll insert the picture here now so you guys get a better understanding. So when we put this up, we center it all up right there, right around there. As you can see where the outlet is right around there. This is going to hit the water pipe. It's going to be a problem, but not too bad of a problem, because we are going to be using this hardware, which is a 1/4 inch anchor. So you make a 1/4 inch hole, put this in the wall, and then use the screws. So wherever it's not gonna bite on plywood inside the wall, like in this area, I'll just drill the 1/2 inch hole and put in the anchor and then screw it in. Same thing in the bottom. I mentioned before in other videos, the plywood ends right around here. So to screw in the wall control in the bottom, I'm gonna have to use those anchors again. So it's not too bad, and it's really only in this area right here where we're gonna have that problem, and in the bottom. So let's mount this first one and confront this problem head on. First piece is on, and it's pretty crazy because this screw and that screw up there, while I was drilling it with the 1/4 inch bit, I felt the insulation of the pipe. So that was a mistake. But yeah, we put these anchors, plastic anchors, the blue ones, in 1, 2, 3, and 4, and these two I started with 1.5 inches, but it wasn't long enough, so I took my 2 inches. So the 2 inch screws bit on that side. So we got wood on these two, and then we have the anchors on these 4. And this is the hardware that came with the wall control. So I think it's more than enough to hold up whatever I'm gonna be putting up there, which is not gonna be too bad. It's gonna be like these tools here and things of that nature. But yeah, first piece is on. We are going to install the next two, which is 1 and 2 there, right next to each other, and pretty much practicing the same exact thing. So let's finish these last two. So there you go. It's in. Everything came out great. I'm happy with how it mounted and we're good. As you can see up there, we have an empty space and I bought this right here to fill it in. That is an 8x32 piece. As you guys can see here, if I could find my measuring tape, this space, it's about 6 1/4. So there's some modification that's gonna have to happen to this right here. And we're gonna save that for another moment. But there is another modification, which is with this piece right here. When we stand this up, which is supposed to go under the top cabinets, we can see that it is taller than this height over here. So we're gonna have to cut this. So we're gonna measure it and then cut it. It shouldn't be too difficult or too bad, especially with the tool that I have, and I'll show you now what tool that is. But I'll put a guide across the same way I cut wood and just use that tool to cut straight through, and it shouldn't be a problem. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to squeeze right on top. We could leave like 1/8 of an inch. Not 1/8 of an inch, but like maybe, I don't know. Something. We could leave some space there. We could leave maybe 1/4 of an inch even. But yeah, so let me show you the tool really quick. Here is the tool that I'm going to be using. It's pretty much a cutoff wheel. The way that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to measure this piece right here. From the measurement line, I'm going to set a spacing of about, what is that? That's 5/8 heavy. So 5/8 heavy off of the finish line on here. I'm gonna put the guide, which is gonna be a level, and then I'm just gonna cut straight through with that. And it should make a pretty straight cut. I have done this numerous times before with wood, and I've actually done it on the channel a lot of times. I actually did it with stone too. I did it with stone, I did it with wood. This is gonna be my first time doing it with metal, but it should go smooth. There shouldn't be any problems with it. It should be the same exact thing, you know, throughout. So yeah, let's set this up and start cutting. That came out perfect. It's nice and tight on the top. You have about 1/8 of an inch. Over here is lower actually, if you can see that. But here it's about 1/8 of an inch more or less. But that's good. It's perfect. It looks good. I was planning on making holes here to, you know, put another screw on these top corners over here. But I think with these two is more than enough, and the rigidity of this, actually that's a bit loose now that I look at that. Yeah, maybe I should make some holes just so that there's not as much play I don't know if the camera's catching that, but that's, I mean, it's all like that. Let's keep it like that. In the future, if I have to, I'll drill the holes from right where it is. I'll make a big hole on the top and a little hole on the inside, and I'll just screw it in if this is a problem. But I just gotta repeat this 3 more times and yeah, and install it. I'll save you guys the time and I'll cut it off camera and I'll install it on camera. All right, we got that last piece in. Well, we have one more piece over here. Just wanted to show you guys real quick. There's an outlet here and it landed right on the seam. I just cut a notch on the other side to get the bend that is there. I don't know if you guys can see here. There's a bend, it makes like a C shape. I cut that out just so that when it comes time to install the outlet and I have to cut the metal, I don't have to worry about the stuff all the way in the inside because the the grinder blade won't reach that deep. So that's out the way, and when it comes time to cut that, which I think is gonna be the next video, we don't have a problem with getting the blade that deep. But we do have a problem over here, and that problem is that this piece is too wide. It's 16 inches. And over here is 9.5, I think. Hold on. It is about 9.25. I'm gonna make it 9.125 just to have that play. Don't want it too tight. So we're gonna be cutting this piece straight down, and I'm gonna have to figure out a way to screw this part in because this is the C part that I was talking about. This is what goes against the wall. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get this to stop, you know, not be floating like so in the air. And I'm thinking about maybe using washers. But first, let me cut this piece straight down and then we could install it there. There. before I show you how that came out, let me show you what I did. So I used a 1/2 inch steel pipe and I cut it to the exact length of this space right here. And once I did that, I made the holes in this pegboard. I made the holes, I made 3. And let me tell you, this thing is solid, more solid than this. This thing is perfect. It worked great. We have a little bit of space on the left side right there, but that little bit of space is much better than this being empty. So came out really good. I used this right here for the screws so that it looks a little bit cleaner. I don't know what this is called. The screw finish? I don't know. What is it? What does it say? Finishing washers. Finishing washers. So I use these finishing washers on these 2 screws because these are regular screws. And if you guys saw, I was using the 2-inch screws and it wasn't long enough. It wasn't catching the plywood here and here. So I had to go and grab the 3-inch screws. By the way, look at my setup. Always important to have all these screws. If you don't, you're working wrong. But yeah, so this thing came out perfect. Down here, I just bought these screws, but longer. I think I bought it in 2 inches. I bought a pack of number 10 2 inches. That works with 1/4 inch blue anchors, which are these. They work perfectly. So if you're looking to do the same exact thing, this is what I recommend. So it came out great. All we have to do now is finish up there, and we're gonna be using the same strategy. It's a little difficult to get these to line up, like to stay on the screw, but you just gotta finagle it and make it work. So yeah, we got that in. Let's start installing that one. Well, you're not gonna believe me, or maybe you will. You see that hole right there? That's a water line. You see the water coming down? Yes, I punched a hole into the pipe that I've been talking about since the beginning of the video, which is this screws. I completely forgot. I scraped the wall on top right there, and then I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna screw it in. It doesn't matter. I completely forgot that the water line is right there. Now I gotta open that up. That's really sucks. That really sucks. As you can see, I had to open this up to shut off the water here. I really didn't want to end this video like this. And I was being so careful, but I just completely forgot about the water line that's there. That was a big mistake. I'm a little embarrassed. Like, why are you thinking? Why? What? I'm really disappointed in myself, but whatever. I can't do anything about it. Damn, just when I was finishing up this wall and the room is looking good and the walls could be closed 100%. The walls are closed 100%. And now I gotta open that up. And it's so tight up to the corner. I don't even know how it's gonna work, but I guess that's the next video, and I have to start filming it immediately because I can't leave that like that. So in the next video, we're gonna be fixing that. But in the meantime, let me show you what we got done today and how it came out. So besides that top part where that water line got punctured, this is all done and in and looking good. I really like the idea of putting those spacers back here. All you need is a 1/2 inch pipe and then cut it to about a 1/2 of an inch, maybe a little bit more, 5/8, and you're able to get the support that you need. As you can see, I'm pushing this in and it's holding up. This is a little bit weaker than this part right here, but it's because it has a lot of support. Maybe in the future I'll put one in the middle. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so in the next video we're gonna be fixing that. I'm out of it, man. In the next video we're gonna be fixing that. I was gonna say in the next video we were supposed to start putting the outlets in, but I really need to work on this now, and I'll just make a video of how I messed that up and how we're gonna fix it. My goodness, man. But yeah, this is all in and it's looking good.
So welcome to my world where mistakes happen. So I'm actually speechless because I got to start doing this immediately. But if you learned something new, you can show me by giving me a like. Any comments or questions, leave in the comments down below. And if you want to see me fix this water line and a whole bunch of other things that I'm doing in this basement, consider subscribing, support this channel, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Thanks.